I am ready. Okay, so obviously if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, they'll be answered. We could also do something at the end and answer some questions. But all right, today we're going to talk about how to find people to sell your offer. What does that mean? That means we're going to be going and finding publishers. These are exactly who you will be working with to arbitrage your leads. And that's what's going to help you without you having to spend any of your own money on ads or marketing. The people that we're looking for that are going to be the ones that are going to be your diamonds in the rough, your relationships, your people that you're going to work with that's going to get traffic for you, okay, without you having to spend any money. So this is also how you can get started, even if you have no followers, influence, or even an email list. This is very basic today, and we will be getting into more advanced concepts in the future, okay? So what offer did you guys choose? So we have dental implant offers, legal services offers, hotel and resort offers. Anybody want to type into the chat what offer you guys chose that is of interest to you? If you guys did find an offer, put it in. That would be wonderful.
Or even any ideas that people were considering, like maybe you didn't quite choose an offer, but you were kind of thinking of, there we go, like a dietary supplements sweepstakes.
Yeah, see, Troy did dietary. Prosper took a sweepstakes offer. Okay. Mint Mobile, George took. How to increase your vertical leap. Okay. Everything from gold IRAs to mail enhancement. What are you trying to say, Alex? Hey.
That's probably, yeah, it's probably a big offer.
Yeah, I know all about it. It's pretty funny. Prostate health. Cool. So, you know, just to circle back for 2 seconds, okay? George, you asked a question about EPCs. Those first two you just wrote up here, right? Troy, you said you're doing dietary supplements. Prosper, you're doing sweepstakes. Okay. The EPCs for those two offers are going to be very, very different. A dietary supplement EPC is going to be much higher than a sweepstakes offer. That does not mean that that dietary supplement offer is going to be more valuable than this sweepstakes offer. So I just want to be very clear on that, right? Because it comes down to how many clicks you're going to get versus what the value of that click is. A lot of people are going to click on the dietary supplements. However, every person in the world is going to want to win $1 million, right? So you're going to get a shitload more clicks on the sweepstakes. So it always backs out to an effective revenue per thousand. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. We're not going into that today, but just because you asked that earlier, that's why it's important for us to get an understanding of what the EPCs are. Okay. So in any event, so before you start going and you're pushing offers out into the marketplace, you got to figure out who it is that you're looking for. Okay. If you're running your own business, you should have an avatar, right? I'm starting to build a lead gen arbitrage millionaire business. All of you people here are going to be making up my avatar. I'm going to figure out who I like to work with. I'm going to figure out what you guys do, where you're from, why you want to be here, what your desires are, what your challenges are, everything I can do. And I'm going to ultimately build my dream customer off of different people that are coming to me to then go out and look for those exact people later on, right? And this is what you do with any offer in the marketplace. Why? Because you can't go and get traffic until you know who it is you're targeting, okay? And by doing that, you're building an avatar. Are people familiar with this? I'm guessing you guys, some of you must have done this before or have heard it, right? So just say yes or no if you're familiar or not. But if it's a rerun for you, it's always good to listen in again. I will tell you, I go to these Russell Brunson events and he talks about things that I've heard and I've been doing for 20 years. But I'll be honest, every time he says it, there's something else that he triggers into my mind that I think about, even when he reiterates the exact same thing. And I know I could literally go up and do the presentation myself. However, it's always nice to hear it again and in a different perspective of where you are in your life today. And it also helps because there's other things that'll just like ultimately make you a better marketer. So if you do know about this, just hang in there and listen and take some notes and write down whatever you're thinking. But so ultimately with an avatar, you just want to ask a bunch of questions about who they are, right? Where are they from? How old are they? What's the cultural background? What's the spending habits, right? What are their demographics?
Really quick,
what are their geographics?
I'm not sure if you had read, that it's like your perfect customer. Does everyone understand what an avatar is? Just kind of before we jump into how to find one, it's basically like the person that wants to buy your product, right? Like someone that everyone's saying yes. Okay. Is that everyone? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, perfect. Because yeah, this is just, you're just wanting to find, hey, if you're selling a prostate, health offer, your avatar is someone that's having prostate problems, right? That's who your ideal customer is. Okay, great. Everyone gets it. Okay, perfect. Okay, go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, so keep going, just do these slides, and we can go pretty quickly through this. But ultimately, you're asking questions like challenges, fears, objections, desires, what their demographics are. So what are their fears? What are their pain points? If you choose to travel, what does your avatar look like, right? If you're going to choose a travel offer, you're going to try to figure out what this person is that you're looking for, right? So hint is, if you're working for somebody else's offer, they should be giving you a tremendous amount of information. If they're good at their job and they're a successful company, they should be giving you 95% of everything you need to go out and find the people that you're looking for. Now, the other 5% of what we're going to show you and do is what's going to separate you from everybody else in the marketplace, because you're going to be smarter than everybody else. You're going to be able to know how to do this, right? But you don't necessarily have to do that when you're in lead gen ARB, because they're going to bring you everything and give it to you and say, go find these people. Okay. But so when you're doing an avatar, what you're doing is you're trying to ultimately just picture somebody in your head, right? So in this scenario, Sarah, she loves to travel. She loves to try new food. She goes to festivals, concerts. She wants to learn about all these new cultures, right? She's someone that's going to scuba dive and rock climb. She loves her time. She will take an experience over something materialistic any day of the week. If you're dating her, you're going to take her on a trip versus buying her something that's tangible, right? So when you start doing this, you start thinking about somebody in your head, right? Who is this person? She's got challenges though, right? She loves to do all this stuff, but she doesn't have that much money. She doesn't have time. She's got a 9-to-5 job. She doesn't even know who to travel with, right? She doesn't know if the travel companion is going to have the same schedule or enough money to go where she wants to go or travel the way she wants to travel. So these are challenges that this person has that this resort is looking for. So the question is, how do we reach Sarah, right? She's the person that's going to want to buy this product that you are trying to sell to, but we need to figure out, where is Sarah? Right. And just to note, it's a little weird for me. I always find it weird, but like I'm going to tell you this because that's what I was taught, is you really want to just like name your avatar. Right. So Sarah is the person that we're naming here. I always find it a little weird to do it. And I'm so about just hustle and getting distribution, but like that's ultimately what you want to be doing. It's a little creepy, but you want to put a picture up, go Google Sarah who likes to travel and all that stuff, and on Google, and someone will pop up. All right. You can do that in the beginning when you don't really know what you're doing. Once you start getting into your business, someone's going to pop up in your head. When you start thinking about it, when I start thinking about it, someone in this group could be the person that I'm going to think about that says, I love you. I think you're amazing. This is the person I want to replicate in my business and make you my community. Right? You could be that person, right? And there could be multiple people like that, but that's the goal here. And the whole concept here is we're going to find the people, figure out as much as we can, so then we can go out to the marketplace and figure out where are they congregating on the internet, so we can get that offer in front of their face. So the best way to find them is to implement this strategy that's called the Dream 100. Raise your hand, say yes if you've heard of the Dream 100, please. Russell Brunson talks about it. Chet Holmes was the guy who did it prior to Russell Brunson. It's a very, very, very popular thing. So I probably should be making up my own name of how you can do it, but I don't really care about all that stuff right now. I just want to teach you guys how to do this. So we're going to use what they teach. Okay. It's very simple. The Dream 100 list of the top 100 places on the internet where your dream customers are congregating. You're trying to find the publishers, the 100 people, the best 100 people that you think you should be talking to go get distribution. So you want to ask yourself, books, magazines, do they read? Are they on podcasts that they listen to? What gurus do they follow? What influencers do they follow? Are they on certain websites or blogs that they read? Okay. You're thinking about all different kinds of things that they're doing on the internet in all different ways of consuming content, right? Because at the end of the day, every one of these things has an audience. Okay, it's just eyeballs. So where do they go to solve their problems? What kind of information are they looking for? Where do they go to learn about any of the solutions to their problems? Where do they shop online? Okay, our avatar, Sarah, is the one who likes to travel. So she follows travel blogs and websites. She follows travel review sites. She's on YouTube watching review channels. She's on Instagram. She's on all these different channels here looking to see what she can find out all about travel. She's at work. She's watching a TikTok of somebody in Italy, and she's just starting to dream, right? She's just like, I want to be in Italy rather than sitting in this office right now at a 9 to 5 job that she hates, right? So there are things that she might be doing on the internet. She has interests, right? So Southwest Airlines newsletters might have deals for when they're going to travel, right? Influencers that are traveling over the world, she might be following. Blogs that review resorts and travel experiences, right? So example, Travelocity does this 10 best deals around the world, and they create that type of content, right? So all of these different places on the internet, they're just publishers to you, right? They're people that have audiences of people like Sarah that you're going to want to get in front of because you have an offer that's relevant. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to create a list of your Dream 100. So we will then want to list out these potential publishers, their contacts, their reach, as much information as we can. So when we're filling this out and we're going and looking and listing out, the 10 podcasts, we want to then put as much information as we can in so that we know how to contact them. Okay. Winning over just one of your Dream 100 could mean you can create a lead gen vertical that can make you hundreds of thousands of dollars legitimately. I've had situations where I've done this where I've had just one publisher. I ran a language learning offer, and slowly but surely we were pushing it out. We were the ones that were promoting the entire product, and people started to hear about it as it started working for different publishers. And these guys talk, they love to brag. When I give a deal to somebody and the guy's crushing it and he's doing, 100 grand, 200 grand a month off of an offer I gave them, they're bragging to their buddies. Well, guess what? Their buddies start coming to me and they start going and finding me. That one publisher that I had actually built my business for me because I made money for them. Okay. So as much as you're going out and you're looking for thousands and thousands of people, you really don't need that many, right? Especially like if you find a publisher, for example, that's buying traffic on Facebook, right? There's only so many people that can go onto Facebook and buy traffic for the exact same offer. Facebook doesn't want affiliates on buying traffic, right? You can't use affiliate links on Facebook. So if you go and you find one guy who's like a killer ninja Facebook media buyer, and that person is going to promote your offer and they're going to start crushing it, they're going to start bragging. People are going to start seeing it, and people are going to start running to you, begging to run the offer through you. So, when you're doing this and you're starting to look for these dream customers, don't go crazy about like, just, you got to have 100, 200, 5,000, go for quality over quantity. And slowly but surely, you could build a massive, massive business. I mean, we did that with the language learning offer. We would pay that one publisher anywhere from $1 million to $1.5 million a month on one publisher. Okay. And he crushed it. But what we did was we went vertical with that publisher. We got very strategic with that publisher. We started doing different types of creatives for them and trying to figure out all different ways that we can leverage their talent of being able to buy traffic. So when you're out there and you're looking for categories of your Dream 100, you want to look at different types of sources. So here's a few examples of things that you could be looking for when you're building out your Dream 100 for the offer that you're looking to promote. So Facebook groups, websites and forums, podcasts, blogs, influencers, YouTube channels, Instagram, Facebook, email newsletters. Okay. If anybody's ever done this before, type in the chat you've done it. Tell me if you've done it. What sources did you find that you had success with, where you were able to reach out and communicate with someone that had audiences, and then you saw something that worked really well for you, and now you start to create a relationship with that person, right? So this is just a few of these things here of what we're looking at, and these are the different sources, right? So, when you're doing this, just keep in mind, you want to think about it as, what are the type of categories that you're looking for, your niches, and then where are they hanging out on the internet? And that's going to also drive you. Like, if your people are like on YouTube, then you're going to start diving into the YouTube channel world, right? Versus the kind of people that might be Facebook type of users. We were just talking earlier about the dental implant offer. The dental implant offer typically targets anybody 50, 60, 75 years old, right? It's an older demographic. They're not as tech savvy as somebody who's 25. Would you go to TikTok to look for the 50, 60, 75-year-olds? Probably not. I could be wrong, because who knows, but that would not be the first place that I would be looking for a TikTok publisher to promote to somebody who's in their 60s and 70s, right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys. And if you're a little confused on that, start asking questions, because there's a lot of different ways we can figure this out. And it's all about just doing some hacks on the internet, searching on the internet, and just, you're going to start. What happens is you start to find one or two things, and ultimately then it snowballs from there. So like, I kind of laugh, like whenever I start doing some research on offers, I'll start, going down this one tunnel. And then like, it takes me into like all 7 like different directions. I have 6 different business ideas by the time I'm done. And I have all the different placements, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Why don't I do this every single day? Because it's time consuming, right? And it takes a lot out of you, but it's really, really valuable. So here's some places that you can look at to get an idea, to get some information about an avatar, right? Anybody that's been buying traffic on Facebook, has anybody ever done that? Raise your hand or say yes if you bought any traffic on Facebook or anywhere else on the internet. Facebook captures so much information, right? You see about privacy laws all the time. The reason why Facebook's so powerful is because of the fact that we're just volunteering everything and anything we like to do, what we think, where we want to go, et cetera, et cetera. So Facebook Audience Insights has all this information for you that is just free information about who that person is, what they're doing, who they're following, and you can get a real good idea of like the type of avatar that's in that specific niche, right? So like if you wanted to go buy traffic for Tony Robbins, you can start looking around for like things around Tony Robbins and get a good idea in Facebook Audience Insights of who that person is, right? You can get an idea of their age, where they are, what they like. There's so much information if you play around there, right? Another one is SimilarWeb. SimilarWeb is something that if you guys haven't heard of it, you can plug in a URL there, and what it does is it shows you like the types of traffic they're getting, their referring URL. Okay, so that's a really big one. So what that means is that it shows where's the last click before it got to that specific website. So for example, if Christine has her Success Path continuity program, right? If I were to go hack her and I wanted to go find traffic for somebody else that has a similar business than her, I'd start looking around on her websites of where is the traffic coming from. I'd start looking at what domains are they clicking from that's getting to then her sales page. And once I figure that out, I'm going to now backtrack and start to figure out, all right, who are these people? What are they about? Do I want to buy traffic from them? Do I want to connect with them, right? And get as much information as I can. SEMrush, SEMrush, that's a search tool. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. It's a paid tool, really good tool that I use to figure out like, referring URLs, different types of people, things of that nature. Google Analytics, I'm sure you guys have heard of that before. Any sort of thing on Google Analytics, it shows all about who the user is. So all these things are different tools. There's a bunch more out there. And if anybody has any ideas or has done this before, post it in here if you have something that's really awesome that you've used. But ultimately, these are
really quick, Eric, just so everyone knows, and we need to update this as well. So Facebook Audience Insights no longer exists. It's now called Meta Business Suite Insights. So Meta Business Suite. So I don't know if you guys have ever used it, but it's really cool. It's a really cool tool where, like, let's say I wanted to put in a certain interest. Let's say I put in cars. It would then show me, magazines that, people that are searching cars, it'll show me magazines that they, check out. It might even show me like, I'm trying to remember all of the categories right now, but it'll show like magazines and blogs and TV stations and all kinds of different things that places where your avatars congregate, right? And those are all possible publishers for you. Because if they're showing you magazines where, hey, anybody that's interested in cars, looks at Lowrider, or they look at, I don't know all the magazines off the top of my head, but those are all possible publishers for you. And they save you a lot of time. So definitely say to check it out, Meta Business Suite. So if you type in Facebook Audience, it'll probably still it'll show you that it's now a different name, but just keep that in mind. Meta Business Suite is what it's called now.
Cool. Thanks.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like she said, it's awesome. It's got so much information. And that's the thing with the internet. There's just so much information that you can really build an avatar, build information, get information. Anybody hear the word hack? You go and hack offers. I mean, it's just everything's out there. It's already happening. People are successful. So you just have to kind of look at what's working and then, emulate it. So what we want to do is we want to create a list. Okay. So for this week, what we want to try to do is if we've picked an offer already, okay, we want to be able to figure out who that avatar is. In this scenario, this is not your offer. So you should be able to have a conversation with whomever it is you're talking to. If you're talking to an affiliate network and they're giving you offers, you should have an idea of who that avatar is by them giving you that information. You could run into a situation where the affiliate manager that gave you this 22-year-old kid who's just a hustler trying to find people like you, well, then ask them to go back to their advertiser and get that information for you, because the advertiser will have that. But yeah, I mean, what you want to do is you want to go and you want to start to create a list of your Dream 100. Okay, company, influencer, who the contact person is. A good way to do that is to go to LinkedIn. Okay, once you figure out who the company is or the influencer, if you go to LinkedIn, you could find ways to do that. There's other like platforms with databases and all kinds of different ways you can do that. If you want to just do the old school hustle, you can go and just call up the company, ask for who's in charge of the marketing department, who's in charge of customer acquisition, things of that nature, and they'll, believe it or not, they'll put you in touch with them. And usually when you get to the person that knows what's up, it's very simple. They already know why you're calling because that's their job. They're looking for you. You're ultimately just flipping it and finding them, right? But so what you want to do is you want to try to get as much information as you possibly can so that you can have an idea of where you're at. And just keep this in mind, right? When we look at this, like you see social media handles here, you see Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, websites, right? What's going to happen is when you find a publisher, let's say, for example, in dental implants, a lot of the older people watch CNN, right? So CNN is a site, right? They have people that go to their site. They have newsletters, like breaking news newsletter. They have regular newsletters. So they have an email newsletter. You can buy traffic on email. You can buy traffic on their site, on a display ad, right? They have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. There could be multiple opportunities where you can buy traffic to hit their audience in very different ways. So when you're finding somebody that you know has your audience, you would want to list out the multiple different channels that they have that are where you can potentially target to them and get your offer in front of their face, right? So the point is here, like we say here, great news, right? The advertiser is going to give you the majority of this information, okay? As a lead gen arbitrage millionaire, soon to be, your job is to get distribution, okay? Your job is to go and just get their offer in front of other people's audiences that are relevant, okay? So they should be providing to you most of that information, okay? They should be giving you their avatar information, everything and anything that gets you to a place where what your job is to go and find traffic, okay? So we're showing you this just to be smarter and understand why and how and what they're doing, because you'll run into situations where I've run into companies that are just mega successful, and they don't even know how to describe their avatar, which is like mind-blowing to me, which is great though, because it presents a tremendous opportunity, because then that's why they don't know how to find the traffic that you're going to be able to find, right? Because they don't know that their avatar loves to watch the Avengers, right? And if they love to watch the Avengers and somehow you can figure that out, then where would you go on the internet to find traffic for that, right? What did Justin just write? Something there.
Justin asked if we use the word avatar with these companies, would they know what that means?
They should. If they don't, I'd be discouraged. But you don't really care if they know or not. Like I said, you could have a 22-year-old kid who's an affiliate manager who got into this job 2 weeks ago, and his job is to find people like you. So avatar, a dream customer, or the target audience that you're looking to find for them, right? So whomever that is, however you want to use that, that terminology is fine. Just bottom line is you want to know who the hell you're looking for, who you're targeting, who you're trying to get this offer in front of, because you want to figure out how to find them, right? If you're targeting soccer moms, then where would soccer moms hang out on the internet, right? If you're interested in music, where would that person hang out on the internet, right? But music's very vague, right? Like if you look at Christine and she's in the music industry, well, that just because you're looking for a musician doesn't mean you're necessarily going to find them. The more niche you get, the better you get, right? If you're looking at somebody who's, let's say, in like the health and nutritional space, you could have two people. You could have somebody that's looking to train to make the Olympics, and then you could be looking at somebody who's looking to just lose weight, and they're 55-year-old woman who just had 3 kids, tired, and just wants to shed 30 pounds. Very different people, very different audiences, very different products that you would be selling to them, right? So the more you know, the more you can niche down, the better you're going to do, the higher quality of traffic you're going to have, and it's going to work better for you. Okay. So it doesn't really matter how you describe it other than just explaining to them what the end goal is that you're looking for, right? So right now, your job is now to find some publishers. You want these people to generate leads for you. These people are going to be your holy grail at some point. I have people in my back pocket that I can call in 5 minutes. I can hang up right now and go call at least 15, 20 people that I've been in the business with for 20 years, keep in mind, that would go and drive traffic for me. But I also have a track record of being able to go and take offers and make them money, right? But at the same time, I'm always looking for new publishers, always. The only way I'm going to be able to scale my business is to find more traffic. So part of what happens in my company today is I have people that are literally out there just looking for new publishers every single day to get them interested in the offer. So we're finding them, and then we have to present to them the offer to make it attractive to them to want to run our offer, right? And it's got to benefit them to do so. So what we're going to do for this homework for this week is we're going to look for different publishers in these different types of traffic sources based off of whoever it is we decided to run traffic for. Does that make sense? Questions, comments?
Yeah, just wanted to just throw in, you got to know your offer first, right? And then you can understand who that avatar is once you reach out to the, what are they called? What is the word? The people that are supposed to provide that information to you. And then you can list out your Dream 100 and the list of potential publishers. And I put together this like list of just kind of to give you guys like a outline of a healthy amount of publishers that you could put together. So this is kind of a good, hey, if you got this done this week and listed out this many publishers, you'd be in a pretty great place to get going.
Yeah. And also, just want to put this out there, okay? If you guys struggle to find any of these publishers should already be promoting similar offers to what you're looking to promote, okay? It's the opposite of what, at least when I was growing up, was, oh, I want to go and invent something, and I want to do something that no one else has ever done in my life, and I'm be the one that's going to create this thing. That is the absolute wrong way to build a business, okay? If you can't find this already happening in the internet today, that means that it is not a good place to start, okay? You want to see that if you find some Facebook groups, are they promoting? If they are, if you're looking in travel, are they promoting any of the travel offers, right? One is when you call them up, they already know exactly what you're calling them for, and you're ultimately calling them to help them make money, and then you're going to have to give them some value prop on why, right? Okay, but 2 is also when you're running with these people, it means that you don't have to convince them. If you go to somebody that's never done this before, and then you're gonna have to try to convince them on why they should send an email to their database to make money, I'm telling you, you're gonna pull your hair out of your head. And then when you do it and you work your butt off to convince these people, then they go and they drop the email and it bombs. You just wasted so much time and energy. It's just, the business is not that hard. There's plenty of people out into this world that they get it. They know what you're calling them for. You're just trying to find the right audience, and they don't know about the offer you have, right? And that's why we want to have something unique that's attractive to them that you're bringing to the table that they didn't know about, okay? So when you're going about doing this, a good way to find some of these publishers is to also look at the competitors in that space, okay? So like, if I were to go out and do that, like I said, if I was going to go and try to promote Christine's offer, I would try to figure out, are there other offers in the marketplace that are targeting music in any way? She's unique, it's different, but are people buying traffic on the internet for music, right? Simply just going to Google, looking around, trying to do competitor analysis, seeing how they're driving traffic. There are spy tools all over the internet that you can buy, of people that are buying traffic on Facebook, people that are buying traffic on YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, all over, right? There's email tools. Literally, there's email tools that you can track where you can pay for a tool that literally like seeds these different email lists. Which, let me backtrack. Does everybody know what a seed is? Did I ever explain that last week? Seeds?
No.
I didn't. Okay. All right, that's important. So, everybody wants to do this. So a seed is just a fake email address that you use for your business. I happen to use some of my own because I don't care about getting. I actually love getting emails because for me, it's all about just seeing what's working. So I sign up with my own stuff sometimes because I love it. Everybody else, oh, this is spam and I'm getting crushed. I sign up for as much as I can because that just gives me ideas. It's in my face. But what you want to do is you want to go out and you want to sign up for, set up a Gmail account, whatever you want to call it. ErnieBanks@gmail.com, ErnieBanks@Yahoo, ErnieBanks@Hotmail. Okay. You're going to want to use those emails and you're going to want to sign up for different publisher sites, advertiser sites, etc. Whatever you're targeting, right? Because what's going to happen is if you're signing up for a publisher and you're going to go and they're going to start sending stuff to you, the first thing they send to you will be their best offer. Okay. If they trigger some autoresponder to you, it's going to be one of their top offers. Usually what happens is all these guys who are trying to monetize the traffic that they're getting, they're going to show their cards by showing you the first few offers that they send to you. And those are the ones that make the most sense for them to their audience, that make them the most money. Because what happens is you become inactive, especially in the lead gen space. It's different. Like, just because Christine, we're talking about Christine, she has an audience. She's been just building up goodwill with her audience for so long. She can go do a little dance in her TikTok and look cute and people will buy stuff and she'll go sell $20,000 worth of stuff, right? She built an amazing business in that respect. Okay. Very, very different than like the lead gen world where people are out generating leads and then they're going and trying to monetize those leads in some way. Certainly on the lead gen side, there's no real nurture. They're just getting people to come in and then they're connecting them with products and services. And then they're trying to monetize them on the back end by sending them other offers, products, and services that they can try to make money off of that user in that scenario. There's a lot of those companies out there that are like that they don't have the goodwill. Now, there are other companies like the Christines and the Info Products of the world that they do build up the goodwill. And those people are really, really powerful. If you can get those people to promote your offer, then they're going to have an influence over those people in a much deeper and bigger way than somebody who's driving hundreds and thousands of signups a day, like a sweepstakes offer. Okay. So I just want to be very, very clear on that. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in Mexico last week, right? At Russell's thing. I presented. I was in a group. Everybody pays $250,000 to be in this thing. People are doing anywhere from 25 million a year to 50 million a year. One guy's doing I think he's going to do 240 million this year in like a dental implant business, which is crazy, right? Oh, whack. So when I'm sitting there, two things I will note is one is I started off with trying to explain to these people that every person in here has a business, right? And they have an audience. Well, guess what? You're all publishers, right? Oh my God. Some of them are like, really? Yes, you're a publisher. Do they have an email list that they can promote to? Yes, they can, right? So is every person in there buying traffic from them? There was one company in there that was spending $2 million a month. They were converting 3% of the leads that they were generating. They were doing about 10,000 to 12,000 leads a month, and they were converting 3%, and they're crushing it. And they're like, "What's wrong with my business? I don't know what to do. Why am I not getting a good conversion rate?" And I was like, "Guys, my student loan consolidation company, we converted 3%, and we were valued at $640 million, which meant 97% of the leads that I bought, I did not convert into a paying customer. But what we did was we monetized that 97%, right? If someone signs up for one of my offers and they're interested in student loan consolidation, but for whatever reason, they do not consolidate their student loan, well, what else would they maybe be interested in? And then I figure that out and I try to make a match. So I would then be a publisher in that respect and be able to market to that data other people's offers. Or I could just create another product, right? In the instance of, and when we were in Atlas, this company who was doing it, they had it was a real estate business and they're only converting about 3% of the people. So are you guys familiar with the linchpin and the MIFKI that he's talking about? Russell's been talking about. Who's in Russell's community here? Say yes. So I know who understands what I'm talking about and who doesn't understand what I'm talking about.
It's fairly new stuff that he's been talking about though, Eric. So it's not as popular as like funnels and stuff. So it's only been since last year. So
cool. So yeah, so I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. Christine's been doing it. She's teaching it in her success path right now. But so MIFKE, most incredible free gift ever, MIFGE. Okay. The whole concept there is to give away as much value as it possibly can to a consumer. And then what they do is they drop them into some like 30-day trial of some product or service that they have. And then if they can serve that person and give them the value that they know they can get them to, it's just really pushing them across that dotted line into the program. And then a percentage of them are going to stay on after those 30 days to become a paying customer. And then it's monthly recurring revenue. Okay. So in this instance, right, the people that I'm describing, the marketing firm that's doing stuff for the real estate business, who's only converting 3% of the 10,000 leads that they're generating, right? They have 97% of these people. So they can go and promote other people's offers, or, which was the conversation internally at this meeting, was, why don't you just set up a MIFTY? Why don't you go set up something where, what would these people want that you can do, where you can give them something and get them into some continuity program if they don't want to buy your core product. So one of the things that we were talking about as we were brainstorming in this mastermind was all around like, these people want to see about like certain types of trends in the market, right? When different products and services that are coming up, or like, different offers, like, when it's foreclosures and things of that nature. So they were going to put together a product that was a much lower cost to the user. But if they have, let's say 9,000 plus people, and they can get 25% of those people to come in and start paying $100 a month over a period of time, that's going to add up over time, and they're going to build a monthly recurring revenue stream for themselves. That's just ancillary revenue. Okay. And if anybody doesn't know what ancillary revenue means, it just means it's just extra money that hits the bottom line. The bottom line on a P&L, right? The top line, when we talk about stuff in a P&L, profit and loss for a business, okay, the top line is your gross revenue, the total amount of revenue that you would generate. A lot of people will go out and be like, I make, $50 million. Christine and I joke about this all the time. And it's like, we always talk about net. We don't really care about the gross. We just want to know, what are you putting in your pocket, right? Top line is the gross, right? Then there's costs that you have to get to that top line. And that, when you subtract that cost, that's the COGS, cost of goods sold, then you would get your net profit. Okay, that's the bottom line. So when I say you get ancillary revenue, the ancillary revenue you can create off of this list would be ancillary revenue, extra profit that hits the bottom line. Okay, smart marketers may take that extra revenue and add that on top of their core product. And what that does is it gives them more of an allowable to go out and buy more traffic and pay more than what their competitors can pay. So if you were able to afford $5 cost per acquisition, but now you create this product over here, or you're monetizing it by sending other affiliate offers, and you're making an extra $2 for every lead that you generate. Now, instead of you paying $5, you could pay $7, right? And if you have a competitor that has the exact same product as you, they're going to be able to pay $5 also. But now you add $2 on top of that. Now your offer is better. People will run your offer because you can afford more, because you're making more on the back end because you're a smart marketer. Does that all make sense? I don't want to go too far with you guys and confuse you, but just yes or no. I got to get a feel for this group of what you guys understand and don't understand, because I tend to go like, I love this shit, and I'll go like really deep and fun and talk about crazy things for hours. But if I'm going a little bit too fast, please, I'm begging you, tell me. I need to figure out how I can simplify this for you, but at the same time, I don't want to bore you, and I want to give you some exciting things that I can show you on how I make a lot of money. Okay, because at the end of the day, I struggle with. All right, we sit down and we're strategizing about this. Even like, I think when Chris and I were talking about the other day, it was like, well, do we teach them, or we just get them to just start making like thousands and thousands of dollars, right? Right. Obviously, you guys want to make money. Cash flow is king, right? And there's a happy medium to that. So, Cassie,
Eric,
what did Cass say?
Troy says, I understand this. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the homework. So I'm gonna add myself as a spotlight again, and then I'm gonna share my screen just to show you what that looks like. So the homework today, when he talked about publishers, this is just kind of a framework for you where, what is your offer? Maybe Eric, maybe go through that with him. What is your offer to start with?
Sure.
And then you could even kind of brainstorm what some of those publishers might look like.
All right, let me just do it. So earlier today, I was talking to my friend Krista Mayshore. Okay, she has a real estate product. So there are really two opportunities that we're talking about when we're talking about her offer. Okay, one is she sells coaching to real estate agents. Okay, high ticket. She gets them into some webinars and some virtual events and things like on low ticket, with the ultimate goal to get them to ascend into some like $25,000 product. Okay, so these are people that are real estate agents that want to learn from her on how she built her business and scaled. Okay, then there's the real estate agents that she has that are going to go out and they're going to need, remember in the presentation earlier, they're going to need to find sellers. They're going to need to find buyers. So we're talking about two different opportunities here on two different offers. Okay, so when I'm doing that, I just want to be clear. I would be creating two separate Dream 100 lists for those two different offers, even though it's in the real estate space. Okay, so in Krista's offer, she's looking for real estate agents. So anybody, just off the top of your head, where would a real estate agent be on the internet? Somebody type something in. Where would you think? Anybody have any ideas?
Zillow, realtor.
Zillow, right? Zillow, boom. Without us doing any research whatsoever, Zillow. If you go onto Zillow, do they sell advertising? They absolutely do. I know just,
yeah.
right? Okay, exactly. Well, once you start talking, for me, okay, the way I'm telling you guys to do it, if you're talking to your advertiser, your affiliate manager, I would start talking to Kristen. I would start understanding who her audience is, right? Does she target people in California? Does she target people like nationally? If she's looking at just people in California, then I'm going to start to dial in on people in California that are real estate agents and start building a niche for who I'm looking for. And then once I do that, then I would start to look at things like, I could go to, like, let's say Instagram, and I can say like California real estate. Okay, start doing some searches, start looking around, seeing what's popping up. Is there anything in Instagram? I go to YouTube, California real estate. I go to Google, California real estate. I go to Facebook, California real estate. Okay, so you start finding keywords. You start looking for things using the same keyword and seeing what's popping up and seeing what people are doing in Facebook groups and YouTube channels, all these different things, right? Does Zillow have an email list? Who's Zillow's competitors? Who's Krista's competitors that are buying traffic for real estate? Okay, so I'm doing all this research, just trying to learn. I'm trying to hack offers. I'm trying to get an understanding of what publishers are out in the marketplace. And then I have to figure out who it is I'm looking for her people. Okay, if she's targeting just women, right? Well, that's going to be very different than somebody else. I could be in the same space, but I'm talking to men, right? Men real estate agents versus women. So I need to understand my offer. I need to understand who they are. And the more I can do that, I can dive in and go and build a killer list. And then what I'm ultimately doing is just setting myself up right now to have a hit list to focus on doing my outreach. Okay. And this is where you guys can do it with Hustle. You can go hire a VA to go and try to just have them call. I have a script. What I do with one of the guys that I have, I don't want to sit and start cold calling and doing what I did when I was younger. And I hustle my butt off. And you know what? Sometimes I do actually, because it's fun for me. It kind of keeps me sharp. I love it, especially when I'm sitting in an office with guys. It's actually fun. But I have a script. What I do is has anybody ever heard of a setter?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have setters. What we'll do is we'll give them like a script, which I can provide to you guys at some point. And what they do is they call and they start talking to these people and getting information, and they put it into a form that tells me if I want to have a conversation with them or not. Because I just want to talk to people to use my time as best as I possibly can. So to me, it's worth it to pay somebody to do that, because then if I get one publisher that can go and get me the distribution, the model works, right? And that one publisher who gets me that distribution for the offer is going to pay for the person that's going and doing all that hustle for me. Okay.
I did want to share also, I believe it's next week, we're going to be getting into how to talk to publishers, like exactly what to say, and how to have that conversation, like how to have a discovery call with them so that you know, like the right things to say to get them interested, and also like pushing your offer, which I think if that would help you guys, let us know, because that was something that we thought would be really helpful to just show you exactly what to share. Looking in the chat. Yes. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what we'll do. I mean, and then this week, just to kind of reiterate, I mean, your homework really here, it's listed right here. So on this slide, and we'll send it out again on the email, is to find publishers. So you want to find, and this, it doesn't have to be 15 active Facebook groups. This is just a nice, healthy place. You know, depending on your market, depending on your niche, you may find, you know, a lot more Facebook groups and less podcasts, or you might find a lot more email newsletters and less YouTube channels on it. So it doesn't have to be exactly this, but this is just a good way to go, hey, you know what, I need to get a healthy amount. I know some people have, you know, just find 10 and then they're like, hey, these didn't work. Well, it's going to take you, sometimes it may only take you 10, but sometimes it may take you 100, but it just takes one really good one for it to really take off for you. So yeah, Alex says we're not contacting them. Yeah, we're going to go through that next week, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We're actually going to go over what that conversation looks like.
Yeah, really good, Christine. Thanks. But yeah, no, you guys aren't going out. You're not doing. You're just getting yourselves prepared to go after it. Okay. Right now, we're right now in the research phase. We have an offer. We're going to go figure out who we're looking for, and then where are they, and then who it is we want to like dial in on and start to target. We're going to do that in these ways that we described, look for competitors, hacking, going through some of these services. I just have a question.
Jason, did you have a question? I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I wanted to ask in regards to the offer. So let's say it's you know, more of a national type offer, right? So the reach it's more of a mass reach. When looking for a publisher to partner with, we should be focusing on somebody that has that type of reach as well, right? To match up with that type of offer. Like for example, if it's a travel offer, let's not reach out to publishers that are, let's say, a Raleigh, North Carolina travel blog, right? Might be too small, or do we want to kind of like stack those smaller publishers to create a larger, I guess, publisher type network, or just go after a bigger type publisher, right? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It's a really good question. You want me to answer, or do you want to answer it, Christine?
So let me just make sure I understand the question correctly. So you're talking about, you found like a national offer, which I don't know what that offer is exactly.
It's just overall as an example, right? They want to match, you know, big national reach offer with big national reach type publisher.
I
Or
mean,
does the publisher side, can we just piece it together with smaller type publishers to distribute this
it's
offer?
going to take you just as much work, right, to establish a relationship with like just a statewide you know, publisher as it would with a national publisher. So if it were just me and I only had my limited time, I would be going straight for national publishers with their national offers.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Yeah, but at the same time, right? Like, you might be competing with a lot of people in the marketplace if you don't have just something really unique and attractive to these people that they may not want to work with you. So it's not a terrible strategy to employ. It just takes a little bit of time. I agree with what Christine just told you, that, you know, if you have limited time and you want to get going, you go after it. But if you're not having success with that, that's not a terrible strategy. We did that for sorry, yeah.
But part of that question too is like, all right, you know, starting off in this, not having, you know, not being Eric, you know, with the track record, right? Might be easier to pick up these publishers that are a little bit smaller, have good distribution, and easier to convince, right? The bigger guys might say, hey, I run a similar offer and I get paid $2 or $3 more than what you can offer me because we're arbitraging it here, right? So we got to take a spread somewhere. So that's
Sure.
kind of where
Let's
my head was at. Yeah.
yeah, you're not wrong, but can I let's just say one thing, okay? We said this on the webinar and we explained to you, you don't need to have experience. You do not need to be me. You do not need to do anything of that nature. I can show you very simply, which next week we're going to slowly start to get into it. You're not going to just be bullshitting somebody to get them to run the offer. If you're a good bullshitter, will it help you? Absolutely. Like that's how I got through all the school in my life. Okay. I charmed the shit out of my teachers and figured out how to bullshit my way through everything. Okay. I'm good at that. Right. So that's why I'm good at this business. But at the end of the day, bullshit goes only so far. Right. So like if you're here, let's say, for example, I'll give you, I have 2 publishers, I run traffic, I have an offer and I know that this offer is doing a 50-cent EPC, which means earning per click, okay? And I go over to some publisher and I say, hey, I got this offer, it's doing well, we're doing about 5,000 leads a day, here's the numbers of what we're looking at right now today. We're getting about, for every 10,000 clicks, we're making about 50 cents a click with our publisher. What are you doing today with your offers and the ones that you're running traffic to? Well, we're only doing 25 cents. Well, guess what? Immediately, that could be really attractive to them, right? It doesn't mean that they're going to go and jump because you could be full of shit, right? But the thing is that if you start to create a case of, hey, I mailed to Christine's list, I mailed to Dana's list, and they both did $1.25 EPC, you have a very similar audience and you're doing 50 cents EPC, this offer's crushing, you should test it, right? It's up to you. Or, and then you start to create some leverage of whatever you want to do. And I can show you some tactics on how you do that. And you're ultimately going to squeeze people, right? But you can show them how to do that. But at the end of the day, if they're doing only 50 cents, I got to tell you guys, if I'm doing $1.25, I'm coming at them like, hey, I'll pay you 65 cents a click. So I make it a little bit more attractive, but if that thing backs out to $1.25, we're making obnoxious margins. And as far as I'm concerned, the more risk you take, the more margin you should make, okay? The lower the budget is, the more margin you should make. The bigger the budget, you can make less margin, okay? But you'll learn all this stuff as we get going. It's like she said, we'll start talking about that, but eventually you're going to be bringing value to the table. Like you're not just going to be showing up and like begging somebody to run your offer because you're cute or you're funny or what have you. It helps, but you're going to come with some real value. You're going to know what you're saying. You're going to say things that are smart. That's going to make sense to them. Ultimately, my goal is that you know their business better than they do by the time that this course is over, that you understand how a media buyer thinks, how a guy what his job is and what he's trying to do on the customer acquisition side, you know already what he's doing. You know what his job is. You could go do his job. You're just going to do it better and you're going to get him to run your offers so you can be in, I don't know, a beach, a toilet, wherever you want to be. I don't know what you guys
We have a few other questions, Eric. I want to be able to move through these. So make sure we can answer everyone. We have Sarath. I can't remember if I'm saying that correctly. I'm sorry.
That's close. That's right. That's right. Sarath. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So I have a question, and it might be getting a bit ahead of myself. I know you have a network and offers. Would you be wanting to share those now or later, so that we can create a dream 100 of whatever offers you have, or would you want us to do it with the existing offers elsewhere in other networks?
It's funny. We just had that conversation before we got on today, earlier about doing that. I was going to ask you guys, we wanted you to just go through the exercise right now. Like whatever you pick right now doesn't mean this is going to be your $1 million offer. Okay. We're just trying to get you guys to understand like how this works, the concepts, and get it. Are we going to bring you offers? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm working on offers as we speak that I was saying, why don't we do it with them? When I'm doing it, why don't I let you guys help me with this? And then you guys can work with me and we can make money together. I feel better doing that once Tracking Tommy's up, because then at that point, it's a little bit more organized. Like I can get you to join my network. Okay. That's fine. You'd be an affiliate or a publisher, but we're not getting you to come in and become a publisher. We're helping you build a business. Okay. And by doing that, we're going to give you your own tracking platform. You're going to get the offer. If you were to come to me, you take my offer and you put it into your Tracking Tommy platform, and then you go get publishers to join your network, not mine, right? You're going to want to build your business. You're not building my business. You're not an affiliate to me. You're here. You paid me to show you how to build a business. So we're going to help you build a business. In a scenario like that, I could do it, but it just wouldn't be in your interest, because then I would control everything. And I want you to be in control so that you build up value for yourself, so that you now have a network. You're going to build a network for yourself of publishers inside your network. Just because you get the offers from us, great, we could still partner. You're going to put it into Tracking Tommy, right? And then it's going to track internally real time in there, but then you go and push it out and get distribution from all your people. Make sense?
Yep,
So yes, the
makes
answer is
sense.
we'll give you offers. We'll 100% give you offers. We're going to do it where you can build a business.
Did
And
you
just
have
in
an
case you
ETA
guys don't
on-
remember just in case you don't know what Tracking Tommy is, he mentioned it a little earlier. It's just a tracking software that we're helping develop, that we're hoping to have in a few weeks, a version that we can get you guys on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
guys are going to get the MVP stripped down version. You guys might be
Yeah.
the first ones to get it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, we got George. George, what's your question?
Yeah, but I had a quick question. When you look at the offer, when you guys look at the offer, does it matter if the offer says you can only have 50 conversions per day, or do you only look at offers that are unlimited when it
Good
converts?
question. That's a good question. Okay. So the reason why they limit you is, one, they don't know you from Adam. They don't know anything about you and your traffic. The advertiser could have a cap on their offer. It does matter long term, because you want to have an offer that you can scale, right? If they're only accepting 50 a day, and then you're getting paid $2 per, then your max amount of revenue you could generate is $100. So that's not so exciting, right? However,
Right.
if you start to drive traffic for 3 days or 4 days, and they start to see that the quality of your traffic is good, then they likely will lift that cap, and then you can scale it.
Oh,
So that's typically how it works, because they don't want to just let somebody come and run them over and send, I mean, I could turn on some traffic and generate 50,000 leads in a day, right? If I do that, and then they're paying $1, they just spent 50 grand, and then they hate the traffic, and the advertiser's all pissed off, and then they don't want to pay me anyway, and it's just everything's a disaster, right? So that's the reason why they want to cap it, because they're ultimately, and they want to protect their interests, but at the same time, it also depends on the model of how you're doing business with somebody. If they're paying on a click or a lead, then it's a higher risk deal for them, versus if they're only paying you when you get them a credit card sale, right? And in that scenario, or a revenue share, right, on the back end, that's less risk for them. So they might be less inclined to give you a cap, because they only pay you when they get a sale, versus getting paid on a lead. On the lead doesn't mean necessarily they're going to get a sale. They may not make money off of that lead. And if the leads are crap, they can get run over. So that's why they do it. So yeah, you want to keep an eye on that for sure. But you also want to have a conversation with them. Like when I have a conversation with an advertiser and they start talking about, caps and payouts, I say, I don't, pay me whatever you want. I don't really care. I just wanted to, I want to make sure that it's in line with whatever it is in the marketplace, that I can compete, because my traffic quality will dictate what I get paid, right? Sometimes I'll send traffic for free, especially if I control the media, right? So like Christine has a list of people in her emails. So it doesn't really cost her a lot of money. If she were to send an email to 5,000 people to get some clicks, just to show some big advertiser that she's got something of value, and she shows it to them, she could even do it for free. They're going to come back to her and be like, holy macaroni, I want to work with you. That is awesome. What else can we do? But now she's got some leverage, right? Now they're coming to her, begging her, right? So it's okay sometimes to send free leads. Like we work with a solar guy that's doing that right now. He sets up and gives free leads. So yeah, you want to.
That's if someone has a list though, Eric, right? So most of the people here wouldn't be sending free traffic.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, but
And
that's
we're
what I'm
also
saying.
gonna we're also going to be covering like how you could, we're going to be doing a media math section in the future as well. So all the questions that you have, most likely we're going to be covering like really in depth, where we're going to be showing you how to back out what a person can pay. And then also when you can ask for more money, right? And they're happy about it. Like, we're going to show you how to do that. Because if someone's making, you know, $10 a lead and they're paying you only $2 and you turn off that traffic, they're losing $8 a lead now. They can afford more, and they'd be happy to pay you for that. And you are justified in asking for more. So we're gonna be covering exactly how to back that out as well for you to increase
Even
that.
so, like you doing it, yeah. I mean, Christine's spot on. You can make a business case on why they should do it, right? If you're paying,
I
if
didn't
you're
know
getting
you
paid
could
$2,
ask for more. Yeah, I didn't know
George, you
you
could
could
do
ask
anything
for
you
more.
want, buddy. This is a free world. You can ask for anything. You may not get it, but you can ask for it.
Well, and then
If
what's
you-
great, if they don't want to give it to you, you can give it to their competitors. Now you're,
Well, that's exactly right. You create competition, right? So if you're driving traffic for somebody, you don't even need to, if they don't want to tell you what they're making, you could just start driving traffic for them, move the traffic over to somebody else, see what they're paying out, and you'll get an idea of what the values are, right? It's the best thing about this, which is what I love, is that we all have opinions, but it doesn't matter. It's just math. I always try to explain this to people, like, I love you, dude. And like, if everything's the same, I'd run traffic with you because you send me gifts all the time. However, it's just simple math. If one deal is backing out at an EPC of 75 and another one's at 50, you're going to run the one at 75 cents until they tell you there's a cap, right? And then you explain that to the guy, like, dude, I'll run traffic, but your offer is just performing less. So if they cap out, then I'd send offers to you. I'd send traffic to you. So it's just math, guys. And you'll learn this as you're going. But at the end of the day, the $2, like she said, if they're making 8 and you turn it off, they're going to come back to you. But 2 is you also hopefully don't have to get to that point where you're saying, listen, I'm at $2, I'm getting this much volume. At $6, I should be able to get you 6 times the amount of volume, right? And it's like we said, like the more volume, maybe you want to work on less margin, less volume, higher margin. That's a rule that I always played by.
awesome. Great. Thank you, George. All right, we have a few questions. Let's try to move through these. We have Troy, you have a question?
Hi. Okay. So I was looking through a lot of different potential offers, and I already had a membership to ClickBank or whatever. So some of these seem like good offers, but my thought, so they have like a gravity score or something. So like, I guess that tells you how likely, how, I don't know how good it is or something, but I'm like, of course, everybody else is looking at this too. Millions of people like, so I'm skeptical, right? I'm like, this has been out here for years. What's the catch? Like, I mean, why wouldn't whoever just do the same thing I'm doing? So I'm trying to figure out, I mean, I know you're going to talk about it, but I'm like, how do you know what's a good offer? Like, because there's so many different factors and you can look at all the numbers, but I'm sure there's something that I'm missing. So I don't know, because I kind of want to do something that might actually work rather than just going through the exercise, but maybe that's, you know, whatever.
We all are begging for that, Troy. But trust me, we're all begging for that. You're not going to know off the bat just looking at it. You know, that's the thing, is that you can get as much information as you possibly can gather to make an educated decision. You talk to whomever on that side who's pushing the offer, but it's ultimately, like I said, it's math, right? So you can go and test it, but before you go and test it, you have to make sure that you have some edge, that when you go to promote something, it makes sense. Like if you go to convince Christine to run an offer to her list, you need to make a good business case on why she would do it, right? You need to make sense on why you would do it, right? So when you're looking at these things, it has to be something that you're going to go out to the market with that has some value, right? And that you can bring to a publisher that didn't know about that offer. But really, it's a big internet. So shockingly, there are a lot of people that don't know about it, right? How many people here have a login to ClickBank? Everybody? I just saw 5 hands go up, but I only see 5 people. But so over time, once we get through this, you guys are all going to become publishers. We're going to show you how to build a bigger business than what we're doing here. This is just the start of it. You're all going to turn into building up your own lists. We're going to show you how to do that. You guys, if someone here doesn't have a ClickBank account, you're a publisher, and you guys have a ClickBank offer, and it makes sense for that dude's list, he might run it from you, right? He doesn't need to know you got it from ClickBank. That's stuff you don't tell people. right? That's his job to figure that out. You're bringing something to the table. So I know it sounds crazy, like, what am I missing? Sometimes just people may not be picking up the offer, running the offer, or they don't have the publishers that you can find. There's a lot of different reasons. But a good way to figure out if offers are working is seeing that they're running on the internet. If whatever that offer is, go look at their competitors. Are other offers running? Are they running? Is anybody running traffic to that offer right now? If you go to Facebook, is anybody buying ads on Facebook for that offer? Are they buying ads on YouTube? Right? Go sign up for the offer yourself. Which, by the way, if I didn't mention that, anytime you are going to go and promote an offer, you should sign up for it. 100% become the customer to understand what's going on. You just got to get into the mind of these offers. You're becoming an extension of that company's marketing department ultimately, because you're going to be promoting it and pitching it. So you always want to sign up for the offers that you're promoting. But yeah, some of it's just trial and error. If you don't have any information or contacts of just running some traffic at it to see how it performs. Others are just going out and seeing what people are doing. If you see people, a simple little trick is if you go on and you see that someone's advertising on Facebook and that ad's been running for 175 days, I'm pretty certain that they're not losing money in keeping that ad running for 175 days, right? It's likely that that's working. So, there's indicators out there of ways to look at that and see what's working, what's not, and things of that nature. Plus, we're building up this group right now, and the idea is we build a community where we get an idea of what's working. But what I also do is, if you have a publisher, you should ask them what offers are working really well for you. What are you looking for, right? I have a very good relationship with Publishers Clearinghouse, PCH. Anybody know who that is? Remember Ed McMahon, PCH.com, right? And it's a good source for me. It's a good publisher of mine, right? And I have a very close relationship with them. And from time to time, I'll hit them up and say, guys, what kind of offers are you looking for? What's working for you right now? What do you need, right? And then they'll tell me. We're looking for more insurance offers. We're struggling there. If you can go help us find some insurance offers on auto and health, that would be really attractive. So I can go then, and now I'm like, okay, I know what I need to go look for, and now I go look for it. And I get an idea, the more information I can get. What offers are you running right now, so I can just save myself some time and energy, and then I try to figure out what can I get that's different and new that I can bring to the table, or later on, I would create something, but we'll do that and talk about that in another time. Make sense? Answer your question?
Awesome. Okay, Alex G.
Okay, hey guys. So first off, thank you. Great content. I'm learning a ton. This is fantastic. I'm so excited. So the basics make sense. Okay, maybe I find an offer and I'm getting paid $1, and then I find some publishers who are, I can get traffic from them for 50 cents. That all makes sense. One thing you mentioned last week, Eric, you were talking about scrub rate, just some percentage that you don't get paid on. And I'm not seeing scrub rate located anywhere on Digistore 24 or OfferVault or whatever, which makes sense because they probably don't want to tell me they're not going to pay me for a portion of those leads. So how do I figure that out?
Yeah, so definitely more advanced. I probably, if I was with Steve and Dana, they probably would have smacked me that I even mentioned that because I'm going to confuse you, which I clearly did. But so scrub, what happens is advertisers will not fire Pixel to pay you, or they will not pay you for a certain amount of leads. So the question is, how do you protect yourself against that? One is a contract. Okay. First thing is, when we do a contract, we're going to try to establish what the max scrub rate is. So standard's 10% max scrub rate, right? But I want you to keep this in mind. Okay. This is really important. As much as an advertiser does that to you, you're going to want to do that to your publishers also. So you don't want to get maxed when you do that with your publisher, because if something happens to you, you don't want to pay out if you're not getting paid. So it's really important that, when you're protecting your interest on the advertiser side, it's max 10%. When it's on you doing the deal with the publisher, you're ultimately like the advertiser, and you're like, all right, well, if they don't bring it up, then you're not going to put any max scrub rate at all. And you want to use that to your advantage where you have the ability to do that. And that's with just bad quality leads versus like fraud. Okay. So
Which, by the way,
that's
we
one
are
thing.
going to be, we are going to be also sharing contracts as well, eventually. So you'll have those as well.
A way to protect yourself against this is, so we keep talking about Tracking Tommy, which is a tracking platform. Okay. It's a natural fit for what we're doing right now. And that's why we're doing it, so that we have something that makes sense. So the way that it works is when you go and you get an offer, okay, you are going to take that offer. Let's say that we give you Music Hustle. Okay. We give you that offer. We hand it to you. You're going to go put that into your Tracking Tommy platform. You're going to then produce what's called a conversion pixel. And then you're going to provide that conversion pixel to the advertiser. In this case, it would be Christine, and say, Christine, you need to place this conversion pixel on wherever you're deeming is a valid payable action. So if she's paying you on a lead, submit, first name, last name, email, and then submit. When someone does that and clicks submit, and then they land on the next page, your conversion pixel is going to fire. And I probably should not even be telling you all this stuff, but I'm going to because you asked it. But so your conversion pixel, what it is it fires in your Tracking Tommy software. It's going to show up as a sale. So you're going to see that you got a sale. So for them, they can't get around that. They can't, maybe they can tech wise, but naturally they really can't get around that. So if you have 100 people that went through that form, 100 people should fire, and then it should show up in your system. And then what you want to do is you want to reconcile your 100 with their reporting system and make sure that it matches 100 and 100, right? So if you're there's a lot of times, I'm telling you, it's happened where I have 100 and then they have 65, right? And if you're not keeping an eye on that and you're just tracking off of your own platform, you can get run over. So you got to be very aware of that, and you call them out immediately. Like, guys, well, I'm showing 100 conversions. Why are you only showing 65? You're scrubbing the traffic. What's happening? I don't know. Sometimes you don't want to call them out. So you say something, then they could be scrubbing it, but you do it in a nice way where they just stop scrubbing it. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden, the next day, all of a sudden your numbers are mad because people are not paying attention. And what they're doing is they'll pay you a certain amount on a cost per acquisition. And that's how they'll make their margin, is by paying you less on the conversions. So it's like a tricky way of doing it, right? So like if Christine's paying $5 a CPA and I have the same offer, right, and I'm paying you $8 CPA, right, but I only fire the pixel half the time, I'm paying you more, but her deal is way more valuable to you because she's paying you for every sale. I'm not. I'm paying you for half the sales. So my $8 CPA turns into $4 CPA. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, but Tracking
If that's a
Tommy-
little confusing, we'll get into more detail of that later once we get into the math and all that stuff. But there's ways you can do it to track.
Got it. And then
What was your
Tracking,
question?
well, and Tracking Tommy will help us with that when it's ready. It sounds like, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a tracking platform. Yes.
It doesn't let me raise two hands, but I had two questions. So that's just kind of a little bit of a tech fail there. So question number 2 is, the business that I wanted to build up by doing this with you, Eric, is in the real estate space. And literally, I was, I was looking for offers as far as real estate coaches. So you're one of the people you're working with is a real estate agent coach, which is a little bit different, but we're kind of in the same space. And, like when I signed up for this, I was going, damn, I get to learn from him, but I also maybe get to partner with him. That's amazing. So like where I'm coming from is, if I don't care if it's not as much money, but if you have an offer that you would like to push and I can drive traffic for that and it's already in the space that I'm in, I would be down for it. You know what I mean? Like I would get to, you could
Yeah.
show
No
me, you'd be able to track it on your end. So I'm just saying, if that kind of stuff is available to us or to me, then I would be down to push your offers.
Listen, guys, you're all going to become publishers for us, and I might become a publisher for you. If one of you guys come up with a kick-ass offer that crushes, if we can promote it, we would. Like I said, we like you, but if you come up and it's just math and we have distribution for it, then we might promote an offer if it makes sense. And on the flip, we'll do the same. So sure, that's part of the advantage of you guys being here That's what we said, you know, in the webinar, but we may buy media from you, you may buy media from us. We're gonna help you. It's kind of a weird business because sometimes your biggest competitors are actually some of your best partners, which is so weird, right? I mean, Christine, you can attest to that. Like, you work with people that you compete with that you also promote to their lists, your offer, right?
Yes,
So it's like,
exactly. So yeah, in my niche, I teach musicians how to make money, and I'm constantly promoting other people's offers that do the exact same thing that I do, like just constantly, because sometimes they'll listen to me, but then if they're a guy and maybe they're an older gentleman, maybe they want to listen from an older gentleman. They don't want to hear it from like a pink-haired chick, you know, and we could be teaching the exact same thing, but
exactly.
sometimes we, you know, relate to somebody that looks like us or, you know, that acts more like us, whatever it is, even if we're teaching the same content. Like, for whatever reason, you guys also felt connected with Eric. Someone else might be teaching the same content or similar content, not as good, but, you know, but it just, maybe the other people, you know, you related to them differently and decided to go with him.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the avatar. That's the beginning part when we're talking about, you know, who the avatar is, and they're also trying to monetize their list. Like, Christine may be willing to do that because the guys aren't buying from her, right? Or the women aren't buying from her. So it's just useless. So she can either let them sit there and not buy, or she could try to figure out where there's a better fit for that person and make money off that person. So, you know, those are the types of things that we're talking about, if that makes sense. And there's a lot of things that are going to come up here as we're talking and going. So like,
Eric, really quick, I'm going to make you host again really quick.
Okay.
'Cause I have to actually jump off, and I almost hit, I don't want to hit end and then it kind of go, and then I end the entire webinar. So I'm going to make you host.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have to log off, but there's still just a couple more questions in there. We have Luis, and then there's a few
All right.
questions in that chat box.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, later.
All right,
Thanks
bye,
for being
everyone.
here.
Uh-huh.
Bye, pink-haired chick.
Yeah, all right, see you guys.
That's funny. All right, where am I looking? Where's the question?
I was next, right?
All right, if you say so, buddy. Dana, where are you? You gotta help me with this stuff. All right, shoot, Lewis, go.
All right. So a lot of the networks that were asking me for like traffic sources, right? And I don't have a website. So how do we get approved without a website? Or do we need to make like a blog or website to get approved for these networks? The only one that approved me
Yeah,
was
Good
ClickBank.
question. Yeah, that's a good question. You might need to at some point do that.
Is there something we
guess-
should like base it off of, like a website that you know that works?
Yeah, I can give you something turnkey, but you know, before I even go and start doing this, the whole goal is to not do any work. What I would do, we're going through an exercise here, right? So like, this was the whole point, was for you guys to go and just kind of get a feel for what this is all about and learn about the offers. It's going to be different once you start getting going, and you're gonna have something of value. Like, if I did it, I'd be like, hey, what's up? I'm coming here. I'm a media buyer. I don't have a website. I don't drive traffic to a website. I drive traffic to other people's offers, right? Or I have a network. I have publishers. I have people that I get traffic from. I can go get distribution for your offers. I need to know what offers you have in order to figure out if there's a fit, or if you saw that they already have the offer. A lot of times you might see, as you guys are doing research, you can see offers that are out there that are just, if you're seeds, meaning you're taking your email addresses and signing up for these different places, and you keep seeing this one offer keep on just being mailed to you, it's probably a very good offer, right? So you might want to figure out like what's going on there. Why is that working? Maybe you figure out if you can get into some contact with a network that has it, test it. If it works, maybe you can go vertical and start talking to the people that are on the back end with the advertiser. Maybe there's others, right? And it kind of leads you down this path. But yeah, before you start going and building and doing all this work like for nothing, just explain to them that you've got distribution, you've got traffic. Explain to them what it is, right? The more value you can bring, that's it. It's a value prop. You're convincing them why they should let you in. So why do I want you in my network? Just to look around and look at my offers? No, because I want to know like what can you do for me, right? What's your value as a publisher? Do you have an email list? Do you know somebody that has an email list, right? Like, and you kind of tell a story. Does that make sense?
It does.
Over
And
time, you'll have more though. You'll have more to fill out. You're just new, so it's just a little different.
yeah, and I was gonna say, do you prefer going out and like looking for publishers that have email lists, or are you also buying Facebook ads and running offers there?
Are you at me personally? Or are you talking about for this group?
Yeah, like what should we do?
For you guys, I mean, do you have money to spend right now on ads?
I mean, I just asked because I know there's a lot, like there's also people that make a lot of money doing Facebook ads for affiliate
Sure.
offers.
Do you have money to spend on Facebook ads to
Yeah,
test?
I have budget.
Okay, so, I mean, the answer is yes, of course you can do that. I promise to teach you how to make money without using your own money. So I'm focusing on trying to do that, where I'm gonna try to help you create cash flow without you having to take any money out of your own pocket. I can easily teach you all of those other strategies, but one, some people don't have that kind of money to go and spend on ads. Two is, again, that's not what I promise you, so.
Yeah, yeah.
But
The
yes,
reason
the
I
answer
asked-
is yes, I could, but
yeah.
do whatever you want. If you want to do that, have at it. I'm going to show you guys how you can go and get distribution right now in the beginning without spending your own money, finding publishers to get distribution for you, get traffic, you make cash flow, and then you just start seeing dollars coming in every single day, right? And then once you start creating some cash flow, if you want to start to spend it on Facebook ads, sure. Or go find somebody that buys Facebook ads that's really ninja and bring them an offer that's unbelievable and let them do all the work for you.
That sounds really good. The reason I was saying that I may be just getting a little impatient because I want
get
to
it.
get started and
Yeah, I get
to
it.
see the
I
cash
get it.
flow. So I was
Totally
gonna
get
ask,
it.
could we start meeting like twice a week, 3 times a week? I don't know if it's just me that's impatient, but I want to get the ball rolling.
No.
Okay.
The answer is no. I'm not even supposed to do this live right now. For the record, this is going to be a course that's going to be like videotaped. If I
Okay.
ever start doing stuff live, I'm going to be spending I'm going to charge high ticket, right? It's like I said, I pay 250 grand to get people live with the people that I want to be with. So do you want to pay that? If you want to pay 250 grand, we could have a conversation. But my guess is you're not there yet, maybe next
Okay.
month or the month after. But so the thing is that it's new and I'm here with you guys while we're building this course. So you have me here. I may pop on a few times to actually do it. It's just the first week, this is boring, man. Like I'm telling you to go and sign up for networks. Like it's boring. Like as we start getting deeper and getting into offers and like, I don't know how much you guys know and don't know, but once we start getting into the math and I'll definitely be more involved and kind of, helping you and playing with you, where I'll be there more than one time a week. And if you guys are doing it where you're looking for offers, then start asking questions in the group. Like go, if you have an offer and you want to try to go get distribution, if you want to get ahead of it, you can do it and go for it. I get that you're impatient. I totally respect that. I would be like that also. It's just it's a give and take. Like you're coming here where this is brand new and I'm building it out. So the bad part is that you can't binge watch this in one day and then go and just start crushing it. The good part is you got me and you're doing it with me that I'm never going to do ever again. Right. So, it's the good and the bad of it, but I would encourage you, think of it as like ChatGPT. You got to ask the right prompts. If you ask the right questions, you'll get answers that I probably wouldn't have touched on prior to that. So if you want to go and do it, it's go find an offer, go find a publisher, go get them to run the offer for less than what you're getting paid. I mean, that's the funny thing is that webinar, you can go watch that webinar and I laid out the business for you. You can go and run a business, a lead gen business from that webinar. I'm going to go give you like the tactics and go deeper into some of the strategies of what we're going to be doing here. But like that webinar tells you how to make money. Go find a real estate agent. Go find somebody that is a buyer or a seller. Do a deal. You can do it anywhere. It's arbitrage. You can go generate leads for anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
That
I
makes
understand.
sense, guys?
Yeah, I didn't want to.
I feel you.
Yeah. I'm just
Dude, I feel you. I feel you. It'll, once we, but like, we're already, like, listen, this is week 2, right? Week 1 was find offers. Week 2 is we're already talking about like getting distribution for publishers, right? So if this is an 8 to 12, weeks to get this done, by next week, we're gonna start talking about how you can talk to these people and then how you can get them to run your offers, right? But that doesn't mean you like, because of, I'm giving you the homework to go and build your Dream 100. If you want to go at it, go at it, and bring it to the group and let us know what's going on. If you guys can all show me you're like way more advanced, then I'll fast track it. I'm telling you, like, I get yelled at by people because I run them over when I start getting too advanced on what I do, and I don't break it down in a very basic level for people, and then they get lost. And I don't want that to happen, especially on this course. Okay. On this course, it's supposed to be like an entry-level beginner course where we're going to show you how to make money on just doing some lead gen arbitrage, not spending your own money. You don't have to build anything. You don't have to have any marketing experience, right? The next phase to this, when I'm over with this, is I'm going to show you how to do this, where you're going to start to build up your list. You're going to be using my surveys. You're going to use my survey software. I'm going to show you how to do all of that and what we're doing. That's a phase 2 where you're going to be building like more of a business with an asset. So, I'll be around, man, and you can just keep asking questions. Use me. I'm a sucker in that way anyway.
Thank you.
All right, who do we got? How many more we
Hey.
got? It's 6:37. I got dinner at
sorry.
7, people. So no, you're good. Go.
Hey, Eric, this is Lacey. I want to start by thanking you and Christina for just y'all time, because I've been watching you for a while. I watch her as well. And I know you guys are always super busy, and because you guys are business owners, and if you need help with like helping with these Zoom calls and monitoring like the Facebook groups, I'm here to help because I know we're all a team. So Dana, if I could reach out to her, whatever she needs, I can help her as well. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. And guys, like this whole thing, like I guess the good thing here is while we're doing this is that I don't know, we could end up working closely with some of you guys afterwards if we all hit it off, and you guys are good at a certain thing. If you guys, someone might become, Lewis may be an unbelievable Facebook buyer at some point. Sounds like he's eager to do that, and if he is, he could be a Facebook publisher for every person in this place, right? And now we just got to go find some offers that he can crush, and then he doesn't have to look for offers anymore, right? Because he's become that publisher, that guy who's crushing it. You guys are all going to find your niche of what you like and what you do. Some people are going to be really good at that kind of stuff. Other people are going to be these like salesmen, like sweet talkers that can get people to just do anything they want. There's definitely somebody in this group, I promise you. That person there, you don't have to buy Facebook. You just find the person that buys the Facebook, like the Lewis, and you go get the deal and you work the deals. Like everybody's talented at different things. You're going to figure out what that is for you. So, we'll see how this evolves. I'm excited to see. It's interesting. Like I said, this is new for me. Right. Everybody's convincing me not to coach and do this. They're like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? And I keep saying yes. And they keep saying, are you sure? And they're coaches that coach. So, and the funny thing is everybody in my group at the Atlas group wants to do what I do. And I'm like, I want to coach. And they're like, no, you shouldn't coach. You have it great. You don't have to deal with people. You don't have to deal with the bullshit. You're literally making money while we're sitting here. I was like, I know it's great, but like, there's something for me, like from a purpose perspective, when I'm generating leads, I don't see those people. I don't get to talk to them. I don't have a community. I don't have like I want to go to events and I love that shit. So like, could I build that stuff for me? I'd love to. So that's why I want to do it. But with that said, I might hate it. People keep yelling at me and screaming at me. I'm like, dude, fuck this. And sorry if I'm cursing, but like that's just how I'm as authentic as it gets, guys. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be me. So if I offend anybody, I'm so sorry. But that's how I feel. I've done okay in my life. I worked my butt off. And this is like a next phase for me where I want to do it. But I want to do it where it's not just about the money for me. It's more like creating relationships and helping people and creating some purpose for myself, that I can build an awesome community. So that's my real goal. Obviously, I want to make money. I'm a capitalist. So don't misunderstand that. And you all should want to make money. Your relationship with money, like I can't stand when they're like, oh, I just want to make an impact, but I don't know. Dude, I don't want to talk to you if you're telling me you don't want to make money. Like, that's crazy. Money is like, it's what you need in life. Okay. Like, it's okay to want to make money. Like, you're allowed to make money. That's what you do. You need to make money. You know, like, if you want to make obnoxious money, then make obnoxious money. Just don't be a dick. Right. But like, at the end of the day, you guys got to get a better relationship with money and also make an impact and create purpose. You can do it all. You know, the people that are just impact and purpose are just like, all right, then do it for free. If you don't care about money, you know what I mean? Just so whatever. Anyhow, thank you, Lacey. Appreciate you. All right, who we got? Prosper?
Yeah, Eric. Thanks so much for all the content today. It's been really helpful. And I was just going to say, I know some of us really are in a hurry to get this going. And I want to make money. You know, I'm a capitalist as well. But
Good.
I'm a fundamentals guy, right? I like to get the fundamentals right. And I know it's not a get rich quick, right? That's not what I'm for. I'm looking for fundamentals, which at the rate at which you're going, I think is great because you explain a lot of stuff. Well, that's the reason why I signed up, because when I watch your YouTube and all that, I'm like, this guy's got the fundamentals well. He explains things well, and I get it, understand. Literally what you teach me, I can take it and teach others, right? That, hey, because I get it. So please stay on course and, you know, and get that fundamentals going so that, you know, because I know once I get the fundamentals, I can get my cash flow going and I can build off it. So
Exactly.
I like what
And
you're doing.
yeah, I think something you just said was, see guys, I'm in the lead gen space, right? Like, I've been playing around in the info product space for fun, right? I've been doing this stuff, paying for masterminds. I've probably paid over $1 million in masterminds already. And it's so funny because I'm an ROI guy. Like, I wouldn't pay for anything unless I knew I would make money. And I get so much more out of it from a mindset and just relationships that I keep paying and coming back because of that and wanting to be part of the community versus actually really caring about making money, which is so funny to me because I would never pay a life coach. Like before I even started doing this, I'm like, these people are whack. They're on a cult. It's wild, right? Like, that's how I felt. And now, like, I love it. And it's just like part of me. And it's just so much fun to be around the same people that I want to do the same thing. But, you know, what he said was, you could technically learn this and start to teach other people and build an info product business at some point down the road if you wanted to. The same thing that I'm currently doing right now. So that is something that is possible. I don't feel comfortable teaching you that because I need to do it successfully first before I start saying that you should do that. Because I don't want to teach you something that I don't even know is going to work or not. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to tell you everything that I'm telling you, I've done. I drink my own Kool-Aid. If I'm telling you something, I've made money doing it. I am doing it, and I know I can make money with the info products, but I'm not going to teach you that till I figure out how to do it. And then at that point, you know, we'll see. But no doubt, you guys will be able to do that. I built my Server Detective software as a lead gen agency where you can have multiple accounts in there and run different clients in there and then give them. I did it in that thought process of being able to give you guys something where once you learn how to build surveys, you can go and just do it for other people. Literally just the way I would show it to you, you do it for them and build the service for them and charge them, right? We're getting paid like 25 to 40 grand to build surveys right now. And like, that is not what I want to do, by the way. I'm just doing it because it's early and there's some like influencers. So like Annie Grace, Eileen Wilder, we did Garrett White last week. And you guys know Garrett White? He's the warrior king. He's great. He's great, but he's nuts, but it's fun. So in any event, yeah. So is there anybody else? Any other questions I'm missing? Yes.
I got one.
All right.
Would you be open to teaching traffic sources in the future?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no doubt.
Be
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll be doing all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
I just have to, dude, my brain works at like 170 miles an hour and I have 14 ideas a day. My biggest problem, and I wish this on all of you, is there's too much opportunity. I can make money in too many ways. And it's a good thing, but it also can distract me. And then if I'm not focusing on that one thing, it could be problematic. So you guys are going to learn a shitload here. I guarantee you're going to learn way more than what I promised you, because when you get me going and talking about things and ideas that we have, there's a lot more that's going to happen here. And that's great. And if any of you guys are able to do something with it, very, very cool. I guess from my perspective for you guys, if any of you guys, I don't know how talented you are, I don't know what you're good at, but if you guys see something that I'm doing and you're like, oh, I'm learning this and this would have been so much better if it was like this or like that, and you guys want to like throw something back at us, or like a worksheet or a way that I could describe it, something simpler, or I could have got there in 2 minutes when it took me 75 hours to explain it to you, right? Like, throw that at me. Like, that stuff that would be really fun and cool to see. But you know, also the feedback, like Troy asked, like, review the offers that you picked. Are they good or not? You know, if you guys are going down the right, if you guys want to do that, that's what the Facebook group's for. You know, here's what I picked, this is what I'm doing, ask some questions. There's some moderators in there that are looking at that will be able to look at that and then alert us, and we can look, maybe do like a Q&A, one, you know, every week, and talk about that for an hour, have other people coming in and doing that as we're like evolving this program, right? I would never do that for a $1997 product. But for this, I'll do it just because we're all trying to learn. But like for a $1997 product, from what people are doing in the marketplace, it's just, you sign up, you have a pre-recorded course, and you go and you watch it. You know, it's pretty much the market, right? You're not getting people live. Maybe get some accountability coaches. I'm not sure, but depends. I just want to make sure you guys make money.
Hey,
You guys
can
want to
I,
be successful.
sorry to interrupt. Can I just throw something out there, Eric?
Sure.
So one of the things that caught my attention about this course is when you called it, when you mentioned arbitrage. And I think, you know, if you've spent it, like, that's a term that's used on Wall Street, right? And I threw this in the comment thing, but I've spent a fair amount of time in the markets. And the idea is that, and the reason why I bring it up is because Lewis was asking if he could go out and buy ads. I mean, I have a friend who runs a nonprofit, and he was given a grant of like $10,000 a month to spend on YouTube or on Google Ads, and they didn't know how to use it. And it's a big gift if you knew how to use it, but spending $10,000 a month would be a piece of cake. You could be throwing money out the window. That's a lot of risk. And I think that the idea here is that you can, that Eric's talking about, is you can really scale this thing up and really lower your risk. And that's a really powerful thing. And that's what kind of excited me. So anyway.
Yeah, totally. I actually thought about doing just an arbitrage course and then getting into lead gen, where I could show people how to just arbitrage anything. Like, I feel like there's so many things out there that would apply to people, and it's so simple. Maybe one day I'll do it, but like, literally, you got, like, anybody that says they're struggling, you can make money doing anything. Like I'm here with some friends. One guy sells insurance, does really well. His business is arbitrage, right? He doesn't sell the arbitrage, the insurance. He goes, finds a client, he sells the insurance, then he goes, buys the insurance from the insurance carrier, and he makes a middle. Arbitrage, right? I have a guy that sells boxes. He goes and buys the boxes. He's got the clients. He sells the boxes. Arbitrage. Like, I can guarantee you there's way more arbitrage than you realize of all these different businesses out there that you didn't even realize they're flipping stuff, right? You know, they just, you know, there's some sophisticated ways to do it. You know, there's some savvy ways, and you can do it with services and products. I actually was toying around with, like, you know, how could I arbitrage things while I'm in the Bahamas? And I was going to do a fun little video, like, with content, right? I can easily arbitrage just rides from the airport, right? Where I can go contact people that are traveling. If I was generally people traveling to a certain place, and then I was able to then get somebody to drive them from the airport, I'll tell the guy I'll pay him $25. I'll charge somebody 100, right? How many people can I get to do that in a month? Arbitrage, $75. Now you're there. Hey, you want pictures with your family? I got this service where I take great pictures by the ocean with the sunset and blah, 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 blah. I don't even have anybody, but I promise you I can find a photographer to do it, right? If somebody's willing to pay for it, all I need to know is, what are you willing to pay for that? I'll pay $500. Okay, great. Now I got to go find a photographer to see if I can find somebody that will do that for less than $500, right? If I can't, and he's like, I'll do that for $750, I'd go back to the guy and be like, listen, we could do it, but I can't do it for less than $1,500. If you want that, we can do it, and here's what's involved of what you're going to get, right? And I'm just kind of working the deal, right? I could walk around a resort right now and start doing that and talking to every person on the beach. Hey, would you love that? I mean, you think about it. Would you want to have pictures of you and your family in a sunset? Hell yeah. If you make it easy, they're just lazy to go get it. Bring a photographer, you know, you probably get kicked out by the resort, but, or you do a deal with the resort and say, I'm going to do this and we'll split the profit. You get 1,000 people a week that come here. I can convert 50% of those people. So I get 500 people to pay me $1,000. That's 50 grand a week. And the cost is 50%. So I'm paying 25 grand. So I got $25,000 in profit. I'll give you 10 grand a week to do that. Right. Or you do a rev share. I'll split the rev share 50%. That's less risk on you. They may say no. So then if you then guarantee it, give them the 10 grand, that's the exact same thing as if I were to go out to the marketplace and buy traffic on the internet. Okay. Like I talked about PCH, and I'm going to end with this. Okay. And I'm way advanced and I would be yelled at if definitely yell at me if then I'm telling you this. But so a simple way, you don't have media, you don't have any traffic, right? Well, listen, you're not going to do this yet because you guys don't want to spend money, but I can go and I can guarantee PCH on their inventory for email or for their website and guarantee them to pay them whatever they want for the month. How many impressions? What do you want to get paid? All right, it cost me $50,000. And then now I own that traffic. I just paid for it up front. Now I have their traffic for the month. I need to figure out how to monetize it. So I need to go get offers and put those offers. But now I have something of value that I can bring that's proprietary, right? So I'm creating an edge for myself. And I don't have any traffic. It's not me. I don't do any of that stuff. But I can go do it, right? If I can go guarantee somebody who's an emailer, hey, if you have 1 million names in your database and you're going to send, 4 emails a week that I want to buy. What would you charge me for every 1 million sent? And when you're buying in bulk, you're going to get a discount. And plus you're guaranteeing them that up front, regardless of what happens, right? You're taking the risk, more reward. So like if they're normally, let's say, if $3 1,000, $3 CPM, that which would mean $3 times 1 million emails would be $3,000 per send, right? So then 3, 6, 9, 12, right? Times 4. What is that? 12, 24, $48,000 a month. So maybe you're like, listen, I'll give you 40 grand for that. And I'll guarantee it to you. So you don't have to worry about finding the offers. You don't have to worry about doing anything. I'll do all of that. And I'll guarantee you 40 grand a month. Some people may be like, F it, fine, I'll take it. I don't care, right? The guys that have a business, a core business, and then they have like a percentage of like the guy I was telling you about that has the 3% that he's closing on, he's making millions of dollars, thinks something's wrong with his business. He doesn't want to deal with the 97% of those people. He doesn't even give a shit about it. So if you were to come there and be like, dude, I'll do it. You send it for the week, X amount, and I'll pay you X amount of dollars. You might be able to pay him 100 grand, and that might be worth like $1 million a month. He has no idea, right? You're not telling him what you're making. So like you could be paying, you can make 900 grand a month doing something silly like that, right? You could be generating leads and selling those leads 3 times. People don't need to know what's going on in your back end or how much money you're making. There could be times where you're making obnoxious margins, right? And good. If you're taking risk, you should make that, right? If they're going to make you take risk, but if you're not going to take risk, well, then that's a different story. I tell it to guys that I work with all the time. You want a huge salary? 1, you better fucking perform. And 2 is you're putting all the risk on me. So like my leash is going to be very short, right? Versus a guy that's like, all right, I'm going to bet on me. Well, I'll give you way more commission on that, right? So whatever. Anyhow, does that make sense? Did I go way too far on that?
No, I think it's great. I mean, there's a lot to go into, but I'm excited, man. A lot of stuff to
We
learn.
could talk for hours. I could talk to you for hours about this. I love this stuff. Like when I buy a car, I do it when I buy a car. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's so much fun for me. It's like I like nickel and dime people for like, $100 sometimes, like a plumber who's trying to like take advantage of me. And like it just pisses me off that he's taking advantage of me. And I'd probably pay him like 5 times that. But when he starts to like see like, all right, I live in a big house, he's going to charge me 2 times the amount. It pisses me off so much that I would have given him it, but the way that he did it, when I go and buy cars, I literally build the car ahead of time. And then I pick 3 to 4 of them and I will literally send it to them saying, hey, this is the car. This is everything that's in the car. I don't need anything other than tell me what it's going to cost. And I give it to 4 guys, right? And then I just start playing them off each other, literally just playing them off each other. Boom, 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 to get like figure out where the lowest cost for that car is, right? Now, you really hypothetically could go and do that, get a good deal, and then go lease it to somebody else at the market price because they don't want to deal with that nonsense. You know, like you can't do it with a lot of cars. Maybe you could, I don't know, maybe you could figure it out. But like, I'm just saying, like, you follow me? Like, there's just so many ways you can make money. If you're struggling, you need to make money. You just start thinking, start being creative about it, you know, of what's out there. And it's really like, I always say this, the fastest way to become wealthy is to find something that works and just introduce it to somebody that does not know about it. Do not make anything else up. Things that are already making money in the world, just take that and then bring it to somebody that has no idea what the hell that is. And you're going to make money on it. That's it. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. Like, people like create so much anxiety and like they make it so hard for themselves. You don't have to do that. You don't, like, just literally, like, my business works. You guys are coming here. You're going to figure out how to do it. Guess what? A lot of people don't know shit about lead gen. Like, lead gen ARB is like new. I'm telling you, I'm in rooms with people that make 100 million plus and they don't know. They look at me like with like a hollow head when I start explaining some of this stuff. One dude, this dental guy, has no idea about traffic that we're going to start talking about, of me getting him some distribution to see like in a certain source. And he's going to make, I think, 240 million this year. So like, he definitely has the spend for it. Now the question is, can we make it work, right? On what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a very different source than what he's used to. So we got to go and test it and figure it out. But if it works, he could become a massive advertiser for me, right? He could be spending like a few $1,000,000 a month with me. It could be one deal. All right. And that could have been from the $1 million that I spent from this mastermind. It took me forever. So whatever. All right. I got to get out of here, guys. I'm going to have to go to dinner, but I appreciate you all. If you have any questions, if you guys are pissed off at me or you have any issues, don't blast it to the group. Just come talk to us. We'll figure it out. We'll fix it. Okay. If you have questions about the business, please encourage each other, try to talk to each other, try to like get chatter going. The more chatter there, the more that I'll start checking it. And I'll involve Sarah, if you want to start throwing some stuff in there to be in touch, do it there. I have a text community, right? You guys can text me there. I look at it from time to time. You guys are higher priority than other people, so you guys pop up more than other people. So I'll see it and I'll try to respond when I can, but just don't be insulted if I don't, because one, I get a lot of messages, and two is I do it, I check, then I'm like off it. So I try to like go there at least for a few minutes per day. So I will get to it. You also have the Voxer group. You can talk to Dana, you can talk to Christine, and we'll start doing more and more. So feedback would be great. You know, in the Facebook group, be great if you guys can like what's your one takeaway, what's your one aha for today, right? Like that would be cool. We do that in masterminds. Like what is your biggest takeaway? It'd be cool to see that from each person. Like, what is your takeaway? You know, Dana, maybe start like a little like what's your takeaway, and then everybody can comment. We probably should be doing this like in the world so people see what we're doing, but I don't know. We'll figure that out later, I suppose. And then you guys, everybody clear on the homework? We're going to have worksheets. I promise you, we'll have like awesome, cool worksheets. It's just being put into place, but that'll be in the membership area. But in the meantime, you guys should be pretty clear with what to do. If you're not, ask questions. Otherwise, appreciate you all. Thanks again for being here.
Yes, sir.
Amazing stuff. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Talk to
you,
you guys. All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
See ya.
All right. Good night. Take care, guys.
Good night.
Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.